What's going on, champs? Hope you guys are doing well. Alright then, so this is round 2. The first time we actually flopped. The second time, hopefully, I got it fixed. Please do let me know if it does actually mess about. I will keep an eye on the comments. Is there comments on thingy? Whoops, fucking ash dushes from smoking and stuff like that. But yeah, I will keep an eye on the thingy, on the chat itself. But from what I'm seeing so far, we're all good to go. I will run a quick check on the internet speed as well. And then we should get cracking. I don't see why not. Let me double check it. Yeah, it's running fine. Looks okay. Looks okay so far, so good. All right, let's just get cracking and see what's going on. So what we were talking about is in regards to Bitcoin. Bitcoin going to 42k at the moment there. I am on a long for ETH, and I'm going to just bring this up there, which I've actually posted on Twitter. You know, the whole idea comes on to, well, that was last week's range high, last week's low there. We've done a deviation day yesterday itself. We found support off it itself, so I'm looking for, well, this is it, stop losses here. If we start breaking it, either it runs me down and then steps back in, and then we go back to the mid-range, or we should get back and break above, well, hopefully break above this trend line over here, which we'll touch base on this. And the confirmation is breaking above the mid-range, then we run it up to the range highs and possibly to 2387, and break above those. We're looking at 3k for the next level there. So that's that. But let's see what's going on. We got Mr. Zahib. How you going, man? How you doing? The opposite. High respected, kindly must update about the BTC dominance 2, please. Yeah, absolutely, I can do that. It's not a big deal. And Bomb Biggie, my man, and the rest is gonna come in. Smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, and let's get cracking on this shit. Now, I'm gonna go on to dollar index, right? It's really important that we talk about dollar index as well. Just to recap things as well. What's so important about dollar index? When the Dixie goes down, basically SPX, which is the stock markets, they tend to go up, and then that will follow with BTC going up, right? So when the dollar index starts going up, we see the SPX go down, and then we start seeing Bitcoin going down. Right? That's the general rule of thumb and whatnot. Okay. Now looking at this, right? When we actually pop up here, we consolidated off this area there. The key thing is, right, from last week, let me bring this up. We had a weekly range high, a weekly range low, consolidation over here, deviation, resistance, smaller deviation, but then we just nuke down, taking out this low, which means if we start to zoom out a little bit, we start following the market structure. Let me hide all this stuff. What's the market structure saying? That's the high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We made new lower lows. I'm taking the whole leg down. That's all it is. I'm not taking little bits and bobs over here, like this little bit over here, or this bit over here, or this. I'm not taking that into consideration. I'm taking the whole leg up and the whole leg down. So which means the invalidation at the moment is here, right? Which makes sense, okay, for the time being. But is this the lower high to make a new lower low? Potentially, if we start losing this low over here. If we lose this low, and then we start looking for lower targets, you know, so whether it comes into here, hold support, and if that happens, dollar index going up, that means SPX goes down. That's the rule, isn't it? Dollar index go up, SPX go down, Bitcoin will go down. If we are looking for more, if we are bullish on the SPX and bullish on Bitcoin, what we want to see with dollar index as confluence is getting down, show me lower lows, lower highs, and let's go for the leg down going into this range. Now, I'm going to show you some alpha, all right? I'm going to show you some alpha. One that I actually missed up. I missed myself personally, but just going back on it today with the Discord group itself, you know, we talked about like marking the top, using dollar index, the importance of dollar index, and I'm going to show you why it's really important. So it's going to take a little about like 5 minutes of discussion. However, bear with me, and I promise you, it is going to be quite a sick alpha, and you'll see, you'll think to yourself like, I fucking missed it, and we all did. Most of us did. I know I did as well. I had to look at market structure for me to say, yeah, this is bearish now, but it's pretty simple technique as well. All I'm gonna do, right, is just zoom out, which I did try to explain on the thingy before we fucked up, right? Let me hide all this. So zoom out to the yearly, and what we see is, like, for me personally, when I look at ranges, right, like what I was saying on the last stream, right, is like you can use this high over here and this low here. This is just liquidity points, swing high, swing low, and we are just in this area of consolidation. Do we continue consolidation, or are we going back up to these highs over here, or are we going to come back down to this low, or are we going to come back down to this? We don't know. We absolutely have no clue whatsoever. For all I know, we can go down. For all I know, we could go up. Well, who the fuck knows? But however, I like to see ranges. So when I'm looking at this particular area here, what is capping the market? This high caps the market there, as you can see. Resistance, resistance, and even 2022, even when he was bullish on dollar index, when he was going 112, 114, 115 as well, you know, we ended up closing below this range high itself, and again we're closing below this range high as resistance there. What's going to be capping the market for support will be this low over here. Why? That low holds support. Whoopsie daisy. That low holds support, deviation pushes up to the mid-range to the range highs, and we do resistance over here. Okay, now if I mark out that range there, that's the yearly, and that's 2016, right? Drop it down to the daily, and this is how we can start looking at what did we do wrong. Like I like to look at what I always do wrong, because you know what it is, when it comes to the market itself, we all, let's be honest, right? Everybody here wants to be as bullish as possible. Every single, you know, there's a number of you here. RX Evening, my brother, good to have you here as well, man. Yeah, there's a number of you here who love to be bullish till the end of time. Up only, up only. I don't know if you guys were here in 2021. We always heard up only, diamond hands, you know, like diamond hands and all that stuff. We had laser eyes and shit like that. Freaking Cyclops from X-Men. Next thing we're gonna have Wolverine, the fucking the fucking prongs or whatever, some shit like whatever bullshit they're gonna do. Fuck knows that, right? But that's just retail for you, the crazy motherfuckers out there. But regardless of what it is, let's look at the market structure there. What's going on, Stone One? Good to have you here, man. Appreciate you there. So, give me a second now. Have a quick drink. Right then. Okay, so looking at this, as you can see, resistance over here. Support over here, deviation pushes up. Okay, cool. Let's just focus on 2021. Remember, Bitcoin in 2021, what happened in 2021? January up, February up, March up, April up, May was down. You know, we had the whole like China FUD that Elon Musk was taken away from Bitcoin. Like, you know, you can't buy Tesla with Bitcoin. That was all the FUD that was happening. You know, then we had some consolidation, and then in August we pushed up, September we pushed down. October, November, we made the highs. November made the highs. Remember that. November made the highs. Now, looking at this, right? When it came to the dollar index, we were coming down over here, range low, back in 2020. Consolidation, got underneath it, find resistance. So the market structure is still lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Let me change the color. Too many fucking same color in the red. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And that becomes a higher low, right? Because this low doesn't get taken out. So the market structure is starting to shift from a downtrend. Before it was going down this way. Then if it's going to break, we need to break these highs over here, right? This high will give us confirmation. If we get above it, hold above it, bullish price action, that's your fucking long. And then we go to the mid-range to range high. And as you can see, right? I know it's hindsight and all that kind of stuff, right? But that will start to show us there's a breaking market structure to the uptrend towards mid, towards high. That's a range bound environment. And look what happened here now. So let's just, whoopsie daisy, where was that? Let's just focus on this point here. This point here, let me delete all this. Whoopsie daisy. Got too much bullshit over here, right? This point here, we found this high here. There's a deviation, found resistance. We break above it, hold support. When we hold support, we push up high. Continuation of bullish market structure. We have to accept that this is happening, right? Now, if I zoom into this, right, and just have a look at this particular area here. Now, this is where it gets a bit scary now. This is where price action really means a lot of things to me as well, more than anything else, okay? So when we broke out of it, when did we break out of it? We broke out of it on the 28th of September, right? Yeah, we can say 28th of September, 29. Let's say 28th, 29. Let me just write that down. 28th to 29th of September. That's when it starts to show us confirmation of bullishness, all right? Now, look at this, right? When we came back to retest of this area here, this high over here, because that's an SR level. When we came to it to retest it as a support, when did it happen? 28th. On the 28th, it came for a retest on support. So that's the 28th of October. It came into support, right? And then what we're looking for is this high. Once you break out of that high, because this high here caps the market's resistance, we get a clean smash above it. That's the bullish confirmation. So if you're late, you gotta fucking enter in there. And what day does that happen? That happens on the 10th of November. Write this down. 10th of November is confirmation. Confirmation, right? Right, let me just delete all this stuff here. So that's the data we've got on dollar index. Now let's just bring this, right, into Bitcoin. Let's just touch Bitcoin, and then we'll go back to dollar index, and then I'll show you how important it is with dollar index, and hopefully you guys have a bit more respect to the market itself, and we go from there. Okay, let me let this chart. Okay, close this up there, hide all that. Clean chart, empty chart, that's what it is, right? So we know over here, right, that was the previous high. If you break above it, it's like the show's confirmation. It does. Breaks above it, looks like confirmation. It looks like a deeper pullback. We're making new higher highs and whatever. You know, market structure, if we lose this low, it's bearish, okay? That's higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and then we make a lower low, lower high, lower low, and whatnot, right? Now, let's go on those dates now. Those dates are really important here. The first one is the 28th to 29th of September, right? Let's go on the 28th of September. 28th of September, we're down over here. We're down over here, and this is when it starts to show us bullishness on the dollar, right? Bullishness on the dollar, but not absolute confirmation. Could be a deviation. We don't know. We push up all the way. Again, 28th of September is when dollar index came back for support. Came back on support on the 28th. And when did that happen? It's right here. We are still making higher highs. By then, Bitcoin's already taken out these highs. And the 28th is right over here. So it looks all right. But this is the 10th of November, which is confirmation on the dollar. Look when the all-time high happened on the 10th of November. The same day. On the same exact day, and then we get underneath it support, we consolidate this, consolidate underneath it, resistance, deviation, breaks down. Dollar index was the key. Dollar index was the whole thing. The whole story was on dollar index. You know, I made a mistake myself, personally speaking, thinking that it was possible that we could actually keep on going higher, you know, after 69k. But yeah, I made my mistake. I've learned I learned my mistake there. Hopefully this helps you and in the future, that you don't fuck up like I did, and make the most of it. I mean, I didn't fuck up kind of thing, but like, can I have done better? Absolutely. You know, what am I gonna do about it? Be a lot more fucking sharper now, okay? So that's pretty much what I really want to touch base on that, and hopefully that helps you out now. Going into dollar index, right? Fine. Now that we actually understand what's going on, what's dollar index showing me, right? What's Dixie showing me? Where the fuck are you, bro? There you are. Right. So Dixie is showing me this area here. Let me delete this. I don't need this for now. We are showing bearishness, right? We have come into a key area of resistance, which is right here. We are unable to find resistance. We've taken out this low. This is Monday's low. We've taken out Monday's low, and we're underneath it. Do we come back for a retest, find resistance, maybe spike up one more time, but breakdown? I'm looking for taking out these lows and this, and coming back to January's low itself, which means if I am looking for a short on dollar index, I'm looking along on SPX, and I'm also looking along on Bitcoin, which also adds confluence to everything that I'm looking for when it comes to breaking out potentially on the total too, which I will touch base in just a moment, okay? So that's dollar index itself. Dollar index is what? Down. Is down for the day. What's SPX? Is up for the day. So you can see the relation that's happening there as well between dollar index and SPX, and that's a key one as well. And I really think that we are going to come into towards all-time high itself with SPX. When you've got like the Dow's already broken out all-time high, made a new all-time high. The Nasdaq, how's the Nasdaq looking like? US 100. These are stock markets, really important stuff. It's made an all-time high today as well. SPX is the lagging factor. It's going to make an all-time high next as well, which means if stocks are bullish, crypto's going to be bullish too. All right, so how we're going to play this, let's have a look now. Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, let me delete this. The key thing is, right, which we discussed from last week, right, and it's pulled back quite deeply as well. I mean, I did take a long on YouTube itself. I got stopped out in profits itself, but end of the day, I missed out another opportunity for long, but we can do so, which is not a problem. But anyway, the key thing that I want you to bring up, just so as a recap there, we are between last year's mid-range and last year's high, right? There's a magnet here. Imagine a magnet right there where freaking price is trying to attract it to pull it this way. Just like when we're at range low, there's a magnet here. And as you get away from the magnet, it becomes weaker and weaker and weaker, and it comes to the next magnet, which is the mid-range. We get above the mid-range, and it keeps on going, making higher highs. It comes to the next magnet, which is the range high. That's how ranges work, right? It's all in it's like a bit of like a law of attraction, pretty much itself. Now, with that idea saying that 2022 is a possibility, what are the plans that we can do, right? I didn't get into a long for Bitcoin, but I can look for a long I got along into Ethereum, but I didn't get along into Bitcoin, but I can still play along when it's possible as well. Now, it's at the mid range. If I want to go for a long, right, I can say my invalidations, I'm completely wrong here from last week's low. I would like to go a bit more aggressive here, which I don't think it's not much of a problem if I were to go for a long right now with a stop loss over here, and I'm looking for targeting. Well, obviously, we're gonna take some sort of profits at last week's high, and then looking up to these highs there, which is a 3.32R, which is not too bad. Now we are gonna come into resistance. I won't like to take, but I mean, I would prefer day trading this bit here, but for the breakout, this is what I'll be looking for in terms of a plan, like that kind of action there. Now, how do I look at this? Now, this high over here and this low over here, what we got, the range high and the range low. It's too blue, isn't it? Let me change this color. The range high and the range low. Fuck you. Range high and the range low. Excuse me there. That's last week's high, last week's Monday's high, and last week Monday's low. At the same time, it's also last week's high and last week's low. So it's a weekly range. That's a weekly range. Liquidity is resting between the upside and the downside, right? That's all it comes down to. Which one gets taken out, I don't fucking know, but we'll find out what it is. We are playing from the low, from high to low, back to the mid range. Do a deviation. That's another deviation itself. The mid range has got to hold. If I'm, let me delete this. If I'm all honest, I won't take a trade right now. Actually, all right. If I'm perfectly honest with you guys, right? What I would like to see them drop to 15, for example. It's something like this, right? You see this low here, right? That's like a pivot itself, right? Price is addicted to it, right? So you can see, find support, deviates it. I mean, there's all the mid-range here and whatever, but I don't really, fuck it, let's just keep it simple. I don't really mind if you would stop this out, right, for example, and reclaim the mid-range and hold above it. That's my ideal long to go target 1, target 2 for Monday's high. Right, playing within from the mid range to the range high. That's what I'm looking for. That's all. Like, I need to find it for bullish as well. It is showing me bullish signs itself, because if I look at it this way, the market structure, what from here is lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then we make a higher low, and then it break above this. Market structure is looking bullish, higher highs, higher lows. So right now I can go for a stop loss here quite tight. Invalidation will be here. All I'm looking for is a price action to get bullishness to get me going on for the range highs. 75% to the range highs. That will be my trigger, and then the breakout plan. And then the second thing is what happens. Do we range bound here? Do a deviation over last week's high? That will be my invalidation. Play back down to 25% and ping pong it back to the mid range and working our way back down to liquidity on the Monday's low. So on last week's low and hold above it, I'll be anticipating a breakout, and off we go to these highs, and then we go for the higher prices itself. Now, what happens if we don't have a pullback here? If this doesn't happen, right? Instead, we start pushing up, right? Which is also possible, because I'm playing it both sides of the range bound environment. Remember, I'm bearish on dollar index. I'm looking for a breakout on Bitcoin. So all I need to do is let price do its thing. You see, this is the current high of the year right now. We are coming towards the end of the year. I don't really like trading so much close to the end of the year, personally speaking. But, however, I can still fucking play. How would I like to do this? Let me just mark out. Well, we got this level here, all right? What I'll do is mark out this high, for example. That's the absolute confirmation, right? Because we are making you higher highs. Then this was the whole thing. It was a higher high. That's the higher low, and then we're making you higher high. That's possibly what we're looking at as well. So let price do its thing. Come back here. Maybe stops back down. Find support. Once he reclaims and hold above this fucking level there, then I can say higher highs all the way through. Bullish market structure. Take my entry. Invalidations over here. Go down up to 40 for last year's high. Then we figure out what's next. It's as simple as that. I've got nothing else more to say than that. Just keep it straight to the point. Now, what happens if there's a bearish play, which is possible? I'm not going to lie to you. There is a possibility. However, let me go back to the 4 hours. However, what I don't want to fuck with, right, I'll be honest with you, is trend lines. If I mark this trend line out, this low here to this high there, I've got a bit of, I can keep it tight. I can go as tight as possible. What I've got here is a deviation here, a support here, and a support here. We are consolidating in this area here. If we break above these highs, there's double tops right there. This is saying to me that we're going to hold above it, looking for these liquidity points there, rip this motherfucker up, continuation to fucking 48k, and I'll be down for that motherfucker, and I'll be straight up like thinking back into the longs for Bitcoin. I'm in a long on Ethereum, so I'm gonna manage that motherfucker there. RX saying it feels like back in school, but actually learning. Thank you for that, dude. But the thing is, I bet your teacher never saw this many times in his fucking life like that, in front of you kids, innit? Sorry, man. So that's pretty much it. Is market structure's bullish, you know, like even in whatever way you want to look at it. If you look at it like the daily, I mean, it's fucking overbought like that. I mean, even if you bring up an RSI, for example, I bet you the RSI is saying to me it's overbought. And it is showing me that it's overbought. You can see the RSI is looking bearish over here. It's a deviation there, deviation there. It looks like it's going to possibly go down. But I've got my plans for the longs itself. That's all it comes down to. I'm bearish on dollar index. So I'll be hoping, if SPX is going up, I'll be hoping the same for fucking, for the same for fucking Bitcoin itself. I'm going to drop it to the 4 hours. How's it looking on the 4 hours? Well, the 4 hours looks very different. The RSIs look different, so you know you got ping pong this motherfucker here. Ping pong, ping pong, ping motherfucking pong, going up and down. We're pushing back up. So even the 4 hours looks all right. Looks looking quite strong. The daily is looking quite like it's going to go down, but the 4 hours looks like it's, you know, bullish market structure to push up into here. Do we come up to take out these and then 48k? I don't really mind them ping pong the motherfucker back down. Let's look at the 1 hour. I mean, I don't really do this RSI bullshit, but even the RSI is looking pretty all right on the 1 hour. I mean, look up, down, a little bit more down itself, but then I still think we go back up. So RSI is looking good. Dollar's looking bearish. Fucking SPX is making all-time high. We're gonna make an all-time high. The Dow's making all-time. Bro, everything's making all-time high. The fuck we're doing? Do you know what I mean? So I think it's all right in my opinion. In my opinion, I've got a reasonable idea on going for longs there. So that's Bitcoin now anyway. Let's jump onto Ethereum, and then we'll talk about Bitcoin dominance and freaking total too, and what I meant by a particular tweet. Where was that tweet? Yeah, I got a strong opinion that alt's gonna rip, and I'll explain this chart in just a moment as well. I will literally get to that in just a bit. So but yeah, going to Ethereum, right? I'm in a long right, and I'm quite happy that I'm up like an R up. Alhamdulillah for that. I posted on Twitter, didn't hide about anything as well. I'm in this long there, just playing this as a range band environment. It's the same principle. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Trend lines, you know, some of you guys like patterns and shit like that. I'm gonna add a pattern just if you want further confluences, which is perfectly fine. You know, everyone has a certain style they want to play with, which is up. It's all fucking cool, isn't it? But delete this shit, right? All we gotta do, bring this up there and have a look at this, right? So if I draw like a trend line here, right? Have we not retest this bastard like that? Have we not retested it? All I've done is this high over here at resistance, 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 resistance. Same shit here. We break above this bastard here. Common support there. We're pushing up, motherfuckers. You know, we're like, oh my god, motherfuckers. All we need to do now is to get confirmation. Market structures like lower lows, lower highs, higher lows, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is looking like a fucking game and a half. If I want absolute confirmation, which I was saying to you, this is the lower high, right? Break this bastard up. I swear we're gonna go up to these fucking highs and then up to 48k, and that's it. I think I'm bullish. I'm long. I'm mad long. I'm long the fuck out of everything. But obviously, no way. Let's just slow down. Don't long yet. Let's slow down. Let's just talk about what the plans are, and we go from there. But I'm feeling mad bullish. You can call me a bulltard or whatever. I don't give a shit, man. But yeah, fucking, I want my bags to go up. So do you. You know what it's like, you know when bears are like, yeah, it's gonna go up to 10k, it's gonna do this, like, all right, cool, innit? But I'm sure you got some spot bags, you know what I'm saying? Surely you got a spot bag somewhere, one thing or another. You've maybe forgot to sell an alt like Ada or Matic, you know. I know like guys like Essie's fucking shitting on it, which is jokes in my opinion, but I'm sure you got alts, an alt bag here and there. Maybe you forgot about an alt bag, but you've got something. Everyone wants their bag to go up, you know. It's mad though. You know, you want to be bullish. You want to be bearish, but you're happy to be bullish on the same time on your alts. And I'm sure they're all like that. Every one of them. Because at the end of the day, right, we're all here to win. There's not one here who truly wants it to go to Bitcoin for 10k. If they want to go to 10k, by all means. You know, like, I'm sure they've got capital ready to deploy and stuff like that. But, you know, you've got to slowly look into, like, going to the halving itself, which is around April 2024. So Looks all right though. So that's your trend line. It looks like it's broken out there. Now Ethereum's a lagging factor. There was another question that someone asked me on Twitter, like why is Ethereum lagging behind the Bitcoin? But the thing is, right, it's like, just like we talked about dollar index. Dollar index is the king. When it comes to crypto, Bitcoin's the king. Okay, Bitcoin dominance is quite fucking high, a bit too fucking high, right? Which touch base in a bit as well. So at the end of the day, right, you have to respect the chart. If it doesn't want to be bullish, it doesn't want to be as bullish as Bitcoin. So here we go. Jay, how's it going? I have loads, can't even remember. The past, yeah, see, even Jay's got a thingy like old bags here and there, man. I've got like, there was old bags I had a lot of profits on there, and there was old bags I end up cutting like some losses and shit like that. I'm like, I have to accept it as well. But it's a cycle. It's all a cycle there. So, but when you come to Ethereum, right now, Ethereum, if you want to draw the trend line itself, by all means, do a trend line for the argument's sake. That's your trend line over here. You got a resistance there, a resistance there, a resistance here. To me, it looks like a 1, 2, 3 pattern that's going to happen there. What do I mean? That we talked about this before. That's the 1, right? That's the deviation, which is the 2. That 3 holds its place. So this is the invalidation. This is your complete invalidation. I was quite happy to go for the long on that one as well, which means if we break out this lower high, because we've got market structure, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and that becomes a high low. We break this high there. That's bullish price action, confirmation. Off we go. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. Done. Simple as that. What happens next? Who gives a goddamn fuck about what happens next? It's as simple as that. All you're gonna play is for the liquidity game. Of course, we want it to go to $2,400. Of course, we want it to go to 3K. Of course, we want it to 4, 5, whatever numbers you guys want. But there's level to this game. You have to be very patient in this game. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, Bitcoin over. Who would have thought Bitcoin from 15.6K to 44K was gonna happen in a year's time? Fucking hell. I don't think anybody actually saw that happening. I don't think it was happening, but it's been a crazy one. And we got RX saying, says, when you took the ETH trade, do you focus on a monthly range or time frame? Doesn't matter. It depends on what I'm looking at, you know, like on in terms of relevancy to the time frame. So in this particular trade, right, so let me bring this up, right? I've taken the long over here. Now I'll explain the thought process behind it. Okay, so we got this low over here, this mid range over here, and that range high over here. Okay, what that is last week's Monday's high and last week's Monday's low, similar to the last week's high and last week's low. That's all it is. There's liquidity resting on both sides of the market there. I know a lot of you guys, we talked about this last week on Monday, will be focused on Monday's low and Monday's high. I get it. You know, like you know, you've been used to this Monday's low and Monday's high. That's Monday's low and that's Monday's high. But we haven't taken out Monday's low. We've come into key support of this SR level there. And what's important as well, we also come into this level here, which is 2140. It's a quarterly range high. It's a quarterly range high. The second quarter range high itself. So when you're coming into support of massive like higher time frame support, let me zoom out so you guys can see it. Right, going to the 4 hours for example, you can see that's a quarterly range. Second quarter's high, second quarter's low, right? Deviation, bullish market structure, take out these highs, consolidation over here, but it comes as a lower high, it breaks up, low, I think higher highs, higher lows, looking for the new high. You know, that's what we're looking for. So market structure is looking bullish, you know, overall when you look at this level over here. And even if okay, let's fucking zoom out for a bit as well. Even if you zoom out, the market structure is looking fucking, it's alright actually, you know, when you think about it. Like, let me just zoom here. Right, what you got? Just fucking remove this bit. What you got? So you got this, isn't it? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. I don't know. I'm not saying take a long, put a stop loss here, but while the market's still bullish, right, on the higher time frame, you play the bullish time frame itself. So when I'm looking at a range, right, in particular, this particular trade, I wasn't giving a shit about monthly open or monthly range high and whatever. The monthly open somewhere around here, down over here. You know, like the monthly highs here, like, you know, last month's high is where, like, so this is last month's high of right over here, these highs over here. So I mean, like, yeah, it's coming to a retest of last month's high. You can say that, absolutely. But like, for me, what's more important is this level here that has a more value, a more powerful value when you look at quarterly highs compared to last month's high. It's like me telling you, right, lift up, like, what's heavier, 100 kilos or 10 kilos? If you say 10 kilos, I think you need to log off as well and maybe get some sleep. But if you say 100 kilos, this is like the 100 kilos because this is going on for a longer period of time. So it's built a heavy amount of data and weight. This over here, this is November's low, November's high. It's only a small little fraction compared to this whole motherfucker here. So that's more of the key level that you need to pick out. It worked the same thing. But like for me, I'm just viewing it as what's the higher time frame scenarios there. So all it is now, looking, just zooming it into there. Let's drop it down to like 15 minutes or so. Do I ever look at volumes? Nah, I don't use volumes. Do you know what it is? I always found these volumes a bit complicated to me. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't even use indicators. I think indicators are for like people who actually needs a bit of help, which is not. I'm not saying like it's not a problem in it, but like it's not for me. Like I can like this. What the fuck is this shit? I don't understand this. All this level here. All I can see is just green bars and red bars of people buying and selling. I know people are buying here. I know people are selling here. So maybe it's the autistic side of me as well. I don't know. But I've never really freaking figured it out. It's like, you know, it's just a bit of a madness to me. I got a new bottle, right? And like when I suck on it, it makes this weird sound. So I don't want you to actually start thinking like, oh, dang, sucking. You know what I mean? You know, like, I'm gonna start from there. Volume profile is the same as ranges, to be honest. Like there's a geezer on Twitter, on YouTube called Frankie Candles. I like his energy. Got beautiful energy about him as well. I don't know if you guys check him out. I think it's definitely recommended as well. And he, like, a few times I've checked his videos and he used volume profile, and I'm like, but that's a range high and a range low. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm doing the same thing. You're just using you're using an indicator to tell you what the range high and range low is. I'm just looking at it with naked eye. And use volume for confirmation. People are looking for what I'm looking at. It works amazing for pattern trading on similar time frame. Yeah, do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. Like it works. Whatever works for you guys, absolutely. If it works, don't change it. And that's why I always say to anybody that who's actually trading, you know, what you would look to do is use other ideas like my ideas as well, and you can add that to your arsenal of weapons of when it comes to trading, and hopefully it's a bit more, you become more of a fucking assassin in it. But generally speaking, I don't use any. I don't like indicators. I think indicators are a headache. It gives me, it's too much on my screen. Even looking at all these lines, I was like, oh fuck, it's a bit too much for me. But anyway, and that's why I always like, I use this pen tool as well, and it gives me a bit more. It calms my mind down a little bit as well. Yeah, I'm a bit strange like that, but what are you gonna do about it? Anyway, so going back into the last week's highs and last week's lows, as you can see, we've done a deviation over here. We come into support. I entered the long over here, wherever it was, in validations here, and all I'm looking for is this has now become a higher high. I think a lower high over here, lower time frame. If we hold above this, I'm happy to go to the mid-range. You can see the mid-range, we have some problems over here. Resistance, a bit of deviation, just like this is a deviation over here. So that will be a target to mid-range. And then once we reclaim and hold above these levels there, especially these level here, let me just mark this one over here, this high over here, then we can say the next set of leg up, going up, will be, whoopsie daisy, will be going towards last week's high. Right, and at the same time we should be seeing, and that'll be confirmation for higher prices for the next leg up between the low to mid and the next one mid to high. And then we should be looking at like what Bitcoin is doing, and by then Bitcoin, because there's Ethereum lagging behind BTC, I reckon Bitcoin's already taken out last week's high before we even take out last week's high on Ethereum as well. And I reckon if that's continuation on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a dominating factor, we should see Bitcoin rip towards 48k, and we'll see what happens from there. I mean, the breakout to the upside really comes down to this as well. So this is the mid range of 2022, right? So if we hold above it, I don't know what we're gonna do, bro. I'll be honest here. Like, God be with us, man. I'm telling you, God be with us. So like it'd be like something like this. We got like, if we flip above this, I mean, I'll be inclined to start thinking that we're gonna go up to like to this particular level here, which is around 3k, and that'll be a target towards here. And then from the 3k, do we pull back and then back into the mid range and hold the mid range to go back up here? But ideally, once we reclaim the 3k level, right, which is also a macro mid range, and then we go up for 2022's highs. We should see what happens there. I wouldn't be surprised if we go up to 2022 highs, especially with Bitcoin. And how would that be when it comes to Ethereum? I'm not too sure. Honestly, I can't give you an answer. What I do know when it comes to liquidity, because you know, market is addicted to two things: liquidity and fair value gaps. This here, we got some fair value gaps over here. All right, some fair value gaps over here. Okay, liquidity is resting here, here, here. Key liquidity is here, so at least $3,600 there. Does it come into here? I don't know. I really don't know, but we have to figure this out level to level and see how Bitcoin does, because if Bitcoin reclaims 45k, goes up to 48k and reclaims 48k, fucking, I don't know what to say, bro. Let me show you something. Right, we are stuck between these 2 points, right? Like, Jay, maybe be able to help me with supply and demand in it. Is this supply? I think that's supply and that's demand. I believe so. We are stuck in this area here, as you can see. Okay, we've got a key range band environment here. All right, we've got 2021's range low, first quarter range low, and 2021's range high. First quarter range high, deviation. This whole thing was a deviation. The key range, we are playing from low to mid. We can reclaim the mid range and reclaim this fucking 48k. I swear to God, I'm going long all the 62k. I can feel that. You know, how good would it be to fucking rip that shit up, right? SEC doesn't approve ETF yet, and we're still ripping up higher. And by that time, bears are fucking, their trousers caught down around the ankle. They've already fell down, face flat to the mud, and bum hole shooting up to the fucking stars, and a rocket shooting down in their asshole and shit like that. That's fucking graphic. Sorry about that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, how mad would that be? It'd be funny. It'd be funny because we've been long and we're long, and we play from there, and then from here we see what happens. I reckon we do pullback. A pullback's gonna happen. I'm not saying we're gonna go to all-time high and keep going making new highs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this is just a chart. This is only just a chart between this low here and this high here, and this mid-range is this whole problem over here. All we need to do is reclaim it, show me bullish price action, and then we go to next target, at least to 53.4k, and then we can reach up to 61.8k. That's what where Bitcoin is. Go into Bitcoin dominance there. Quickly just touch it on that. Bitcoin dominance, right? Like, say what you want to say. This is bullish, man. Right? We've got a range band environment here originally, right? Back in 2021, going into 2022 and into 2023 as well. For about 2 years and a bit, we've got a range band environment there. At the same time, I've got a channel here, right? What it is on the daily, you can see that low of it. Oops, you can't see that. My face is in the way. There we go. That's better. That low over here, right? Will support, and we're pushing up higher highs. That high over here does a deviation, resistance here. But in reality, what we need to focus on is a higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. If we take out this low, then I would say, yeah, Bitcoin dominance breaks down, Ethereum dominance start ripping down, alts start fucking popping up like a motherfucker, Ethereum start catching up like a motherfucker, right? That's what we're looking for. But until then, we're still stuck in here. We're still, Bitcoin's still the dominating factor. Bitcoin's still pushing up higher. So it's not giving a sense of urgency for us to go a lot more lower. So that's going to be another fucking issue right now, in all honesty. So I'd say be aware of Bitcoin dominance is making higher highs. If Bitcoin dominance is going up, that means Bitcoin is still the king. You want to respect the king, and that means Ethereum is not playing catch up yet. As much as I thought last month we were going to play catch up, but we didn't. I was completely wrong on the idea. I have to respect it as it is. Bitcoin is still the king. Everything bows down to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that's really when it comes to Bitcoin dominance, and hopefully I helped those who have those questions about that. Stone is saying, 1 minute. Sono was asking, above is supply, below is demand. Oh, I keep getting it wrong. Do you remember I was in Turkey and I made that mistake? Sono was like, could you explain what you mean by retail coming in? Retail's coming in is like when your grandma comes in it, like all your neighbors and your friends. That's retail. That's written retail in it. Like everybody wants to be rich now. You see a couple of guys, or maybe like, let's say like your neighbor was in crypto and you don't even know there's actually, let's say you guys, because you guys are in crypto, right? Let's just say for a moment that you guys are in crypto. Let me have a cigarette. I think why does that keep happening? Sorry about that. Mute myself so it doesn't sound like I'm sucking on some. Excuse me about that. Yeah. So retail, right? So like retail is a thing, right? In all honesty, and this is something that people don't like talking about, right? You can, like, if I were to say this out loud, right? People say, oh, you shouldn't be saying this and whatnot, but I don't give two shits. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care. Right? We were all retail once. I was retail, you was retail, Jay was retail. What happened? You're a normie. What's going on? 1 minute. Did I just ruin it? What happened? 1 second. You swapped quite a bit of my portfolio over into crypto. Honestly, what the fuck? Yeah, nah. So what the fuck is high, bro? I'm not high, bro. Is that a coin? Some meme coin? So retail is this, right? So when like it's like is you like Jay, you're not the normie up. The normie comes in when it's all on the news, because you have to bear in mind, Jim Cramer has been so bearish about it. The whole thing's about regulation. The SEC is not approving your ETF, so retail hasn't come in yet. Institutions still looking to step in a bit more, like the like institution, like the big boys like BlackRock. They're looking to step in, but they, this whole SEC thing, I reckon, is going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news thing. Like we haven't got an ETF approved, but Bitcoin's went from 15k to 44k. That's not normal, right? But it is what it is. Now retail is like, look, you were retail, I was retail, Jay was retail, do opposite is retail, Musa was retail. Hello to you, Musa. We all was, right? And what that means is like Microsoft made you a lot of money. Mashallah, that's really good for you, man. Stocks are going to go bonkers, absolute bonkers right now, in my opinion. But retail is when like everybody's talking about crypto. Right now, no one talks about crypto. Do you remember back in 2021, we had Crypto.com Arena. We've had LeBron James was into crypto. We got freaking all these freaking crazy things that was going on. The red eyes. That's retail. It's all this is all marketing for everybody to jump on board, and that's the exit liquidity. Retail is always going to be exit liquidity. When you were retail back in the days, right? When you stepped in 21, 2017, 2018, whichever time you entered the market, you was a retail. You didn't know what was going on. You just thought it was going to be an easy, quick in, quick out. AI stocks 100% are the best thing ever. My portfolio on crypto is mainly AI stocks and AI and gaming. Major amounts on AI and gaming as well, personally speaking. I've got a few others here and there, but yeah, I reckon they're gonna go crazy, motherfucker. They're gonna go really high. But yeah, I mean, I got AIX. AIX is one of my favorite ones as well. That's still at 20 million market cap itself, or just under 20 million. I reckon we'll send that up higher and whatnot. But yeah, we should be good. But yeah, so going back to retail, retail is where the exit liquidity is. Like they use these people to dump on, is it illegal to dump on retail? It's not. I don't know. That's a whole different question. It's entirely up to you guys, what you want to see, how you want to see it. But me personally, I'm dumping on dumping it in somewhere in 2025. Okay, so I know a lot of people are asking me about like alts in it. It's not that session. It's BTC and Ethereum. Tomorrow I will do an alt session. I have to fit that in tomorrow. I've got I'm heading over to London tomorrow. I've got something going on there, in London. So I gotta bounce over there. So I'm gonna try and do an alt session tomorrow. But I'm gonna just quickly touch base on one thing that's really important to me. Is Total 2. Total 2 is the key thing now. All right. Now, a lot of you guys are asking about QNT, Rose, and all these other stuff, right? AI stocks, crypto, alts and whatever. It all comes down to Total 2, right? So just to zoom out quickly, right? I did cover this on the stream, and I'm going to just touch base on this. And then tomorrow, hopefully, I'll spend a bit more time on this as well. We'll see how the price action unfolds from when the daily close happens there. Most of the guys, fuck them, I'm dumping on them. That's funny. Musa, you are fucked up, bro. Careful, bro. Zach XBT might be on your case, fam. Shit, dude. I've got a dinner to go to as well. So I'm heading down to Mayfair to a restaurant called Aviatia. I haven't been for a while, but it should be nice as well. I'll take pictures for you if you want. So but I'm bouncing off, and I'm gonna do some shopping for Christmas shopping as well in Southridges and Harrods as well, and then head off over for dinner, just family shopping and stuff. I mean, like, people are gonna say I'm gonna get killed for saying like Christmas and whatever, because people's always on the case, or like, yeah, we shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. I don't celebrate it. I just respect it. That's what it is. But I like to buy gifts. It's fucking discount, isn't it, bro? Like, things are cheaper, bro. A drink in. We have two celebrations, which is Eid, the two Eids that we have, and I agree. As a Muslim, that's what we have. However, Eid, man, chicken goes up, bruv. Like, us as Muslims, we fuck each other up. I don't know what kind of bullshit this is as a religion. It's some crappy ass ideology, if you ask me. Is that only on Eid chicken goes up, dates go up and everything goes up. But for Christmas, right, the Christian people, man, they make things cheaper, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get discounts, man. So why are we doing each other up for Eid? I don't get it. Anyway, someone's gonna actually, cancel me for being against that. But anyway, fuck that. That's a whole different story, guys. I want to get into trouble one day. I know it. I know one day I'm definitely getting in trouble. 1 second. Fucking hell. Jay's asking, can you just not celebrate? Oh, yeah, look, I celebrate everything, man. I've got Jewish friends in it, and they used to do Hanukkah, so they used to invite me over, and we used to chill and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's like some people are just they got a very strict ideology. Could be young, could be anything as well, but experiences tells me, we live in a world where we need to understand one another and try and build a unity between each other. If we don't, we're always gonna have problems, and that's the problem. And then when you look at like the Muslim countries, right, you got they're fighting with each other, man. Yemen's fighting with Saudi's fighting with Yemen. You got the whole Syria situation. We've got the Israel-Palestine. I mean, there's a sadness going on in the world out there. We're too busy fighting each other, man. Why don't we just fucking stand together and be human and try and respect one another? I think that's as simple as that. If you've got a difference of opinion, that's you in it. I've got my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong in it. But I was always taught by, sorry, I'm going all religious here, but I was always taught by, the Prophet Muhammad, is that, like, when you look at it himself, right, he spent 13 years in Mecca, 10 years in Medina. I want to just chat to you guys there. 13 years in Mecca, 10 years in Medina. When it comes to prayers didn't come obligatory until he went to Medina. The 13 years he spent in Mecca, he actually spent it in terms of actually perfecting the morals of mankind. There was a time where they were burying, killing children as well. It was a very graphic, horrible time in the Arab nation in those time as well. The polytheistic ideologies they had, is what it is. But at the same time, the Prophet Muhammad came to perfect the morals of mankind, and he spent those time to actually learn and teach others how to speak to one another. I think going at people's throat ain't gonna help anybody. You cause division. How can we come to this country in the United Kingdom? I look, I'm patriotic when it comes to the United Kingdom. I truly love and respect this country. For real. I'm fully pro UK. I have a lot of love and respect. I may have a difference of opinion on some of the policies and the politics and stuff like that. Absolutely. Nothing is gonna be 100%. But if it wasn't for this country, I wouldn't have be where I am today. So I'm very, very respectful for what this country has given me. I'm in love with what I've got. I'm in love with having a house over my head. I'm in love with the idea of not worrying about bombs or anything like that's going on, or terrorist attacks as well. We are protected as well. So big shout out to all those countries out there. Whether you got a difference of opinion, if you live here, you have to respect it. If you don't, I don't understand. Why the hate. We've got to stop that. Like the Prophet Muhammad never taught us to hate one another. He never hated Jews. He never fought against Jews. If you think about his battles, it was against the Muslims. Well, sorry, not the Muslims, the Meccans who wanted to kill him. So we'll see how it is. But Stone once says, man said chicken goes up. It's true though. 10 kilogram, you can't say no. Yeah, brother, it's freaking expensive, man. Every time, man. I always think to myself, before Ramadan, and I need to do a big shopping. I always forget. And then Ramadan comes and I get screwed over with the price. Fucking hell, man. It's fucking expensive. But yeah, let's go back to Total 2. Sorry about that. That was me going off on one as well. Not off on one or on anybody in particular. Just more let's respect one another. That's what it is, We're all in this together. We're in crypto. How many mans thought there was a lot of Muslims in crypto? How many mans thought how would you make money, all that kind of stuff as well. So I'm fortunate to be here, and you guys give me a platform. So thank you for your time. I really do appreciate that, and hopefully I can help you make the most out of it. Now going back to Total 2, this is the key thing, right? Let's focus, right? Last one, and then we head this off as well, because it's gone on 49 minutes, and I know you lovely people have got stuff to do, and you don't want to sit here all day listening to me talk bullshit really as well. Okay, so range high, range low, support, deviation, resistance. This is all a deviation. Price is capped over here, this blue box over here, right? Why did I highlight this blue box? I'm going to zoom into it. I'm going to show you that you see this up candle here? That's that last up candle here in this consolidation mode, where we had consolidation, got underneath it, resistance, sell off, right? So this block here is key. When we come into it, it's going to be a resistance. When we get over it, it's going to be support. Resistance is flipped a support. That's what it comes down to. So keep that in mind. Let's look at what happened after. We come into it. Resistance. Sell off. Come back down. Then we come back into it. Well, way later afterwards. We come back. Where the fuck do we come back? We don't even come back here. We are stuck in this range high over here, which is July's range high of 2021. And we've then come into it. And now we're consolidating. This price action here is very different. See this consolidation here is very different to this. We wicked into it 3 times and sell off 3 days in a row. Bang, gone. You know, shank your motherfucking family and stuff like that. That's how we did it. Just freaking cut our legs off, right? Here now, we're fighting for support. You can see that range low. So I've done this as a range band environment as well. You can see it as a range low holding support. It's all support until proven otherwise. If I drop it down to the daily, right now, we started off quite importantly talking about the freaking what do you call it, dollar index, the importance of dollar index, and we said the dollar index is looking bearish, going to January's low. It's playing in 2016's high. We're looking for, ultimately, the range low is 92, right? If the dollar index is bearish, Bitcoin's going to be it's going to be bullish, SPX is going to be bullish, and if Bitcoin is bullish, Ethereum is bullish, if Ethereum is bullish, alt's going to be bullish. We are consolidating here. Now, this is looking like I can anticipate some sort of breakout here, right? What I've got here, you see, this is the last down candle right over here, right here, that pushed the market up. Break these highs there. We haven't get a clean close above. If we get a clean smash above, increases probability of higher highs as well as a breaking market structure. But it's showing me signs of breaking market structure. It's come back into the order block there. But look how we close on the 4 hours at the mid range. We're holding support. Now, if I want to, all I want to do now, I need to see this happen now. Like, where was it? Right, oopsie daisy. All I need to do is let this hold as a mid range. Right, remember we play from high to low, low to high, high to low, low to, we're going back to high. That's all it is. So if I'm right, I'm expecting this to be aggressive. This is my invalidation. What I'm looking for is the range highs, and once we break above it, bullish price action, off we go. And one thing we did with Bitcoin and Ethereum is throw in trend lines. Let's do the same shit right here. Let's throw in a trend line. Trend line, right? So we've got this range high over here, and as you can see, you got something like this, right? I think this is nice and clean, right? We've got this high act as resistance with deviation, resistance over here. So we're saying we're holding the mid range. Once we flip this, breaking market structure, hold above this level there. This, I reckon, we take out the highs over there and we push up for higher prices, in my opinion, which means alt is gonna go fucking ballistic. That's what I reckon is gonna happen. Where's our targets when it comes to alts on this whole two? I'll be looking at the 25% of the range, which is around 832 billion. All right, so that's my view there, and I really reckon we're gonna go up higher. Tomorrow we'll do an alt session sometime around 1 o'clock in the UK time, UTC. We'll look at doing that, and we'll have an update of what's going on. We can start looking at some of these alts there, and we'll see what's going on from there. Okay, that's it for me, lads. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best as well. It's been a pleasure just sitting down and talking to you guys. Hopefully I didn't bore you, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have a great evening, guys. Bye, everyone.